India's first dengue vaccine is here. But is it really a significant milestone? Why everybody is not going to get it at once, and a bigger question that why this vaccine is not the solution for everything. Hello everyone, welcome to Vajiram and Ravi's Flash News. My name is Shubhangi Singh. And in today's session, we are not just going to talk about this first vaccine that we have got from dengue. We will be looking into some pertinent questions that why everybody will not be getting this vaccine, why this vaccine alone is not enough, and how this is going to change the health framework scenario in our country, especially against dengue. So let us begin with understanding that what is the remarkable feat that we are looking at. So as of this moment, India has approved the first dengue vaccine, which is QDENGA. When we are looking at this vaccine, we have to understand that this is where dengue prevention goes up a notch in our country. Now, this is also a major milestone because of the fact when we are looking at dengue and the global burden of dengue, India is a major shareholder. 1/3 of the dengue burden falls in our country. Millions of infections occur globally every year, and that huge fraction of million, 1/3, falls in our country. Now, India experiences seasonal outbreak every year, specifically when we are talking about the monsoon season, which we are seeing as of now, and post-monsoon season as well. But the problem here, which this particular vaccine is solving, is the fact that no specific treatment against it existed, and now one does. So, existence of this helps in solving, helps in addressing one of the biggest public health challenges which is present in front of our country. Now, what exactly is this vaccine and why this becomes important? Let us talk about that. Now, when we are looking at this vaccine, the reason it is significant here because this addresses all 4 dengue virus serotypes. Now, when we are talking about dengue infection, if it happens to you, it can happen because of either of these viruses. And when we are talking about these viruses, if you have been infected by this one, next time same dengue will not happen to you, but the other 3 possibilities do exist. So what this vaccine is doing, this vaccine is using a live attenuated virus platform. It will be administered through 2 doses, and when these doses are completed, that means that you will be getting the necessary optimal protection from these viruses. Now again, remember, this is not a short cure. That doesn't mean dengue will not happen to you. This is the best form of prevention that can be taken up. Now, if this is the most short form of prevention, the major question arises here that what kind of limitations do exist with it. So, the first limitation I did mention. Now, I am saying that this is the most short way of prevention only. In this context, the first thing we need to look at is the benefits and limitation coming from this very vaccine. And that's when I think we will be able to understand better that why it is not being given to everybody. That means why universal access is not allowed. So when we are looking at the benefits and limitations, the first thing is the obvious benefit that is going to come out of it, that the likelihood of severe dengue is going to reduce. Because severe dengue cases used to come into the picture once you have been affected by a particular serotype and you have gained immunity against it. Next time when you are affected by the second virus serotype, in that situation, because of antibodies which are present in your body, the fight with the second virus type used to become difficult, which used to lead to severe dengue cases. Now, if the severe dengue cases will reduce, automatically the expenditure on them, the hospital admission will reduce, and the intense pressure during the monsoon and post-monsoon season that we have seen every year because of dengue, that will also reduce the burden on healthcare infrastructure. But with these benefits, we also have to recognize certain limitations. The first one, I have clearly pointed out the fact that this is not 100% protection. This is about prevention. Vaccinated individuals still can be contracted by this very virus. And if somebody already has the infection, that means they are suffering from dengue, they have the fever and everything, all the symptoms, this vaccine is not present to treat them. So any sort of early diagnosis might be a saving grace, but at the same time, this vaccine comes with a many limitations. And this is where we get to see that there will be a priority group that will be set by the government. If you remember, during the COVID time, the government did not allow a universal access first. It was about the healthcare force, the frontline warriors which were vaccinated first. So that was the need of the time, and given this vaccine, the need is of now to ensure that the priority groups get it. So the government is saying we will decide that who will be getting on based on many parameters. These parameters will be how much dengue burden is present in that locality, region or state, what is the local transmission intensity in that region, what is the amount of vaccination that are going to be available, and safety assessment based on group. Another thing that government has said that we are going to bring in age group prioritization as well, because it is difficult for senior citizens to fight off such severe cases and especially for children. So age group prioritization will also be there. Now QDENGA is a live vaccine. That is why medical consultation is mandatory before vaccination, especially to vulnerable groups, be it pregnant women, be it elderly, somebody with infection. All of these groups would need a prior consultation, and the availability of vaccination would be very specific group, not universal, at least at the start. And that is why it is not going to be available to everybody as of now. Now the second important question that we started our discussion was that vaccine alone is not enough. When we are seeing that vaccine is a huge breakthrough, then why is this not enough? It happens to be not enough because this is going to be a full phase strategy if we are complementing it with other preventive measures. The preventive strategy that has been running till date, that included the mosquito control, for example, eliminating stagnant water, covering the water storage equipments, emptying out the coolers, flower pots, etc. The personal measures, for example, using mosquito nets, full sleeved clothing, using other repellents which are present there, and community awareness. So this was the full-fledged strategy that was being used by the government. Now this needs to continue with vaccine. Otherwise, if vaccination is going to be the only thing that is going to be used as a prevention strategy, then the whole prevention plan will fall through. So as of now, vaccine is a breakthrough. It will definitely reduce the burden of severe cases. It will help the healthcare infrastructure. It is definitely going to reduce the hospitalization costs. But at the same time, that doesn't mean the prevention strategy that has been running, that is eliminated out. That needs to be complemented with this rather than replaced with this as of now. And in the end, the last thing I want to discuss here is when we are looking at this approval of QDENGA, especially by DCGI, this is an important achievement. So when we are talking about Drugs Controller General of India, he is the head of CDSCO. Can you tell me in the comment section what is exactly CDSCO? Now this is a major milestone, but we need to also understand why. We have understood the benefits, we have understood the limitation, but I am not talking about milestone just as a vaccination, for the whole infrastructure itself. So the first thing, we know that it is a major public health milestone, but let me explain to you why. Because as of now, India is working excessively on transitioning from disease treatment. That means once something has happened, then we are going to treat it. Rather than India wants to move to become a preventive healthcare economy, that we are preventing this disease, prevention is better than cure, and India wants to follow it to the T. And this achievement is a direct addition to it. Second, when we are looking at this, we clearly get to see that it has potential to reduce severe diseases. It will not only lower the incidence of severe dengue, hospitalization, dengue related deaths, but particularly it is also going to help the high transmission regions, and it is going to save the hospital beds for the more needy, for the more vulnerable group. Other than that, you have to remember that we are specially focusing on national vector control effort all across the country, especially when we are looking at the vector diseases, vector-borne diseases across the country. So, vector-borne diseases, one of those diseases is dengue. So, if we are strengthening our fight specifically against dengue, then the efforts on this are already doubled up. And this is also a clear demonstration that how India is growing its capacity to introduce vaccines for usually neglected diseases or which are up and coming. So this is also about how India's immunization ecosystem is keeping up with the need of the time. And then definitely with all of this, we do have economic and social benefits as well. Reduced healthcare expenditure, there will be better productivity, because lower productivity used to come from illnesses. Now, if the illnesses are addressed, then the lower productivity losses will be seen. And this will be also leading to improved quality of life, which will be delivering in terms of productivity and also better social life. Now, what are your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comment section. I'll be leaving you here with a very easy prelims practice question. I hope you are able to answer this. Let me know the answer in the comment section. I'll be waiting for your answers. That was all from my side. Thank you so much.